We are back with more Cabaret Festival for SceneTV. Of course, I'm Marcus. I'm sitting alongside the lovely Wendy Todd. Hi Wendy, how are you?
Yeah, great.
Awesome. Wendy is the co-designer of the Cabaret Festival sets, the theme, the styling, all of that, aren't you?
Yeah, that's correct.
So tell us, what was the inspiration for this year?
Well, what actually happened was we, as part of the festival centre, undergoing the big changes and the redevelopment, we actually expected the centre to be totally covered in scaffolding and those sorts of things, but the major works haven't stepped up quite as far as what we expected. Yep. So when you look at some of the things in the program, you can see a little touch of the scaffold, and so we were sort of heading down the workman kind of vein, and so we had to pull it back just a tad, and so there was this idea of a little bit of the crossover between and so that idea of what comes next was part of that. Was if you come to the festival centre and all you can see is it clad in scaffolding, and how do I get through to even the door, and what's on the inside? So it was this idea of what comes next when I go through and come to an amazing show. So they're sort of the things that were sort of a little bit of a backstory to it. But then it was like, well, now the major works haven't quite got as far as we thought, and so we went, well, a little bit about what makes those things work, what are the makings of theatre, and so it's a little bit like, what's a working theatre look like, what would happen if we could see all of backstage. So that's where this idea that the image comes from, is that it's made from things that you find in the theatre. And there's also this idea of rearranging the furniture that Ali McGregor was talking about, and a new perspective. So when you watch the television commercial, you know, the camera goes around, and it's not until we're at a certain point of focus and then we see all those things that are piled up actually create the word cabaret. So it was about that kind of thing, exposing the backstage of the workings of the theatre, and having a new look and a new perspective.
Which is wonderful. And of course, I mean, I think we're probably all familiar with the Cabaret logo at the moment. You know, we've got the ladders in there, we've got the, well, there's everything, lighting in there.
Yeah, so you've got lighting trees, you've got ladders, so you've got both the things that you would see possibly on stage and the things that make the magic of theatre.
Was it fun creating it?
Yeah, totally, yeah. So I designed the gala that was last night.
Which was brilliant, that set, you know, so, just having that raw space.
Yes, so that was the idea. We saw all of back of house.
Which has never happened before.
No, you don't get to see that. And we even left it open so that normally there would be a curtain and people would do what we call crossover, so that they can come in on the other side of the stage. If you were watching, you might have seen Rhonda Birchmore cross across the back.
I saw her do that on all fours, I think. No, I'm kidding, I'm joking, she wasn't.
No. So, but, you know, there's the Four Seasons going by, and, you know, and it was quite relaxed. Often crew don't like to be exposed in that thing, but because their job is backstage. It's not like they were naked. No, they weren't naked. We were all in blacks, which is what, you know, we do. But there was certainly a sort of relaxed feel back there, so it was great. And that's how we started. So when the audience came in, they saw people coming in, they put a light on. You know, that was a little bit staged, but there was that kind of idea that you see, this is the workings of how theatre happens. That moment, maybe that 15 minutes that happens before, in a normal show, the curtain goes up. There's still plenty of action happening on the stage. Mm-hmm. And so it was about, let's see that happen.
Run with it, yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, it had a lovely feel.
Give them something new.
Yeah.
So in regard to what is presented now to the public, what is officially there for everyone to see, including the gala last night, are you proud of what is there for people?
Oh yeah, totally. And we sort of went, you know, a little bit back to this idea of the construction was, well, we don't really want to go the full hazard tapes and so on, but you know, in this day and age where high vis is all about, you know, construction and everybody has to have their high vis. So what we've done is bring that pop of high vis colour. So we've got pinks and greens and oranges in the venues as a little bit of a pop towards the high vis without being overstated. And so we've used the chevron shape, which you would see on a sort of road sign, you know, make sure you go this way or whatever. So we're sort of using shapes but just giving them a softer version.
And you've brought in an artist as well. I love the stencil
Yes,
artist.
James is fantastic.
Tell us about him.
Well, James is He's a local boy.
Great.
And we gave him 10 artists. We commissioned him to do his version of 10 of the artists, and he also then brought in that pop of colour. So there are certain there's the wall, the car park wall that we talk about, which is, over the years for the centre has had different interpretation. So his paste ups was a classic idea of let's just paste all those artists up, and again, he brought that pop, and so it just brings some attention to it.
Exactly.
And even when you walk into the outer foyer of the festival centre itself, we've been able to manage to clad those, and he sort of is in all sorts of little places. You'll find him in lyrics. You'll find him in we've done versions of him on little acrylic light boxes, and
awesome.
So he's seeped into the venues everywhere, so it's lovely.
Lovely, Wendy. Let's wrap this up with a game of word association.
Okay,
I love it. I love putting people on the spot, okay?
Yep.
And this is going to get really uncomfortable at points, I'm sure, but you know what? Work with me. We're going to get through this,
with it.
okay?
We'll work with it.
Let's start. Coffee.
Apples.
Apples? Where did that even come from? It has to be somewhat relevant.
I don't drink it.
Let's start again.
Okay.
Coffee.
Donuts.
That's better. Alcohol.
Yes, please.
Sex.
Yes, please.
Snap. Oh my God. Adelaide Cabaret Festival.
So much fun.
Design.
More hard work.
SceneTV.
It's new to me. I'm loving to see it.
Oh, wonderful. Wendy, you've been an absolute delight. I'm absolutely astounded with the creativity that comes out of your brain and your co-workers. I think the set here is divine. Thank you so much. You've been watching SceneTV. We're going to see you very soon for more Cabaret Festival.